Hello everybody, welcome back to a season that we in the UK like to call spring. It's when the weather starts to warm up a little bit, flowers start to bloom, people wear t-shirts and eat ice creams in the sunshine. That's not what really happens. This is what spring looks like this year. Snow all over the place. I'm surprised, to be honest, that we've had quite as much snow as we have. I was expecting a little bit because it had been forecast, but this is ridiculous. So as you can imagine, on a day like this, waking up and opening my curtains to see all this morning, I thought, well, it's impossible to stop at home and not take the camera out when there's going to be compositions every single place I look. It's going to be a case of just moving the camera in any direction and I'll be able to find plenty of compositions. So I hope you enjoyed that first image of the tree. It was one I sort of came across a little bit by accident. I was trying to find a pathway through this woodland, which is virtually impossible in the snow. Normally you can see the path fairly easily, but in weather like this it's impossible. So I was just kind of trying to make my way through the woodland and came across this scene and thought, well, I've got to take a picture of that now I'm here, but I couldn't get any further, so I've had to turn back and walk back the other way. I'm going to go and see if I can find a bit of an easier walk now. It's getting a little bit challenging at the moment because everywhere I'm walking it seems there's been other walkers out walking their dogs earlier this morning, and everywhere I look there seems to be tracks of footprints leading into the scene, and obviously if there was no snow around I wouldn't be bothered about that, but obviously with the snow around I can see those footprints in the snow and it ruins the image. But every now and then I'm finding just the odd little composition where there seems to be virgin snow and I can avoid any footprints and still manage to get a decent composition. And I think there's a little scene just here. You can see this tree here, a couple of trees further back, and there's basically just a few trees essentially standing in a line, and they're in this little bit of a cut-in just between them where nobody's walked. And it looks quite an interesting scene, and obviously you got the snow all over the branches of the trees and on the ground. So I'm going to stop here and set up a composition here. I think there's an image. Looks good from where I'm standing, so I hope you like this image as well. I've just seen a lady, an elderly lady, walking with two sticks. And I thought she seems a little bit unsteady on her feet. So she's either brave or stupid, or she's just a hardy character who likes to get out and walk in all weathers. There's a few of us about, you know. But as I got a little bit closer to her, I could hear she was calling. And as she was calling, obviously her dog was off its lead and running around enjoying the snow. And eventually the dog reappeared and ran up towards her, and she said to the dog, "Oh Poppy, you're getting a little bit overexcited, aren't you?" And I thought to myself, well, how can you not get overexcited with all this magic going on around you? So my camera just died briefly. It's back on again now, so I'm going to persevere, but if it goes again I might have to finish this vlog using my phone, which is not a problem because I know that I can record video footage with my phone anyway. Whilst I'm standing here, I think there may be a composition just behind me, but it's very difficult to explain it. Just over here there's a couple of trees with lots of snow up the side of them. You can hardly see them, to be quite honest with you, but there's just that dark shock of bark on the one side of the tree that's not been exposed to the snow. So I think there might be maybe a composition there, but just a little way over from it there's another tree here which is a similar sort of state. My concern is that I don't really want to walk onto that patch of snow in front of those trees, because I'll create a lot of footprints as I'm doing that and a complete mess, and I won't like the composition when I finish with it. So what I'm going to try and do is just kind of skirt around it. There are already 1 or 2 footprints in it, but they aren't too bad. I don't want to make them too much worse though by me putting my big size 10 boots in it. So I'm going to skirt around there and see if I can find a composition. I hope I can give you a couple of decent images, so I hope you like these images. So I decided to go down low for a bonus pano. That last shot, it wasn't a case of capturing the individual trees on their own. It was more a case of catching a panorama, because what I noticed was there was a third little clump of trees on the very end of the scene. So I just thought it might look better with a panorama. So I dropped the tripod down quite low and put the camera quite low and made an interesting panorama out of that. I think it's about a 7 or an 8 shot panorama. So hope you like that image. I think there may just be one more composition left today. It looks like everything's pretty much very similar, so I'm not really capturing an awful lot that's different, except, like I say, for that bonus pano and sometimes the odd tree that looks a little bit out of place in the snow. So I think I'm going to call it quits for this vlog today. If you've enjoyed today's vlog and you've enjoyed the images, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, and also please remember to subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you again on another vlog very soon. Bye for now.